My name is Jason Mitchell, and I am a PhD student. So I'm going to be talking about the everyday goddess. So I don't consider myself very creative. So when we were asked to do this project, I freaked out a little bit because I was like, I'm supposed to come up with an art project. What is art? How do I do that? I can't do that. But I've seen some other presentations and I've been like, oh, art is so many things. This is cool. So hopefully you will see the art in this as well. So I have some health issues that require me to meditate more regularly than some people would imagine. And I do things to help me with my meditation. And one of the meditations I decided to undertake this semester was a meditation on the goddess, because I had never done that before. And so I did that a lot this semester. And in doing that, I, for lack of a better description, began to see the goddess everywhere. As it turns out, she is all around us, and all we have to do is have the eyes by which to see her. So as I started looking around all semester, I would find her in these random places. And I have always wanted to be good at taking photos. I've never been good at taking photos. I got the new iPhone 7 so that I can have the extra camera and could be cool with the photos, you know. I could be all creative. It didn't work. I mean, they're regular photos. They're fine. So I began to take photos of the times I would see the goddess. And then I thought, how can I put these together in a way that's creative for me, right? And one of the things that's creative for me and meditative for me is the practice of coding. I've just always been a computer nerd. I've always been one to code. So I hand-coded a web page for the goddess over the last semester. It's taken almost all semester to get it together in the way I like it. And I'm going to show it to you. But I wanted to start by showing you some of the code. So this is just one of the files. There are 11 files that make this site function. And so this one is the shortest one. This is the base code that puts everything in its place on the screen. So where an object is located on the screen, this is the code that tells you that. And it's fairly short, being 129 lines. So it includes all of the text and all of the photo links. So running through it quickly, you can see the title here. You can see the title of a photo. There's a photo linked here, and there's a title to the photo. And then there's text that goes with the photo. We're going to talk about those in a minute. So once I had the basic structure down, I began by kind of storyboarding on paper. Once I storyboarded on paper and come up with the design, then I get this basic structure down. Once I have this basic structure down, it's really ugly. It doesn't look like anything. It's just these things popped on the screen in their place. But it doesn't have any it doesn't have any color. Short of the pictures, it doesn't have any styling of any kind. There's no special movement, any of that. So there's this second section. This section is 1,900 lines of code to make things look the way they should look stylistically. Also to define the way this would look on your cell phone or the way it would look on an iPad or something of that nature. So if you look at it on a tablet, it reformats. If you look at it on a phone, it reformats. And that's some of what this code does. This is actually the motion code. But yeah, so we just put this together so that everything is pretty. You're going to look at the site and go, wow, that's a lot of code to do nothing. But it does. It takes a lot of code to do nothing. So these are two of the 11 documents, I think, that it takes to put all these together. And then each photo has two copies of the photo. There is a thumbnail version that you'll see at the beginning, and then there's the larger image, so when you click on it, it'll load in its full resolution. So both of those have to be handled in this process. So this is what the website looks like. So when you click on it, it loads all pretty. And if you look at it in a web browser that's not connected to the projector, it's 3 by 4. Okay, it's 12 photos altogether. Here it's going to be 2 by 6 because it's shrinked in with the screen. So each of these photos has a title, and each of the titles indicates the quote hints at the quote that will appear when you click on the photo. Now, I chose each of these quotes from each of the books that we have been reading all semester. As I went through and highlighted in my reading, I went back through and found quotes that I thought kind of matched the photo in some way. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they do capture, I think, sometimes, maybe not explicitly, but the spirit of the photo, as the photo exists. So we're telling a story as we go through. We start with revealing light and then move to a sacred unity, the sacred matrix, the blood of peace, the mother of the universe, knowledge. This is easier to read in person, by the way, and not so much on the projector. O Mother, the story of protest, the form of goddess, earth, ecology, and soul, a conscious resistance, and then I end with the Gita. As someone who studied Hinduism for almost 5 years now, academically, the Gita was the first text I was introduced to. It's the text that has always resonated with me. It's where I turn in times of discomfort. So it was fitting that one of our texts kind of brought the Gita into focus for me in the end. So this is what it looks like. So if you click one of the photo will load, and it will give you the quote. So this one is, Lord of Gods, Guru of the universe, tell me of the 10 avatars. Now I want to hear of this. Tell me of their true nature. Pamsvara, reveal to me which avatar goes with which deity. So we begin by asking to be shown the 10 avatars, and then we're going to move through each of the photos. I'm not going to click them all, but these are from various experiences I had throughout the semester. So the candles you saw at the beginning are from Our Lady of the Angels, downtown Los Angeles. This photo comes from the Women's March that happened shortly after Trump's election. There are several of those in here. This is also from Our Lady of the Angels. In my paper, I detail in more detail what these photos say to me and why the quote was chosen. I detail the quote as well, but I'm not going to take time to go into all of that. This peace sign is on Wilshire Boulevard at the corner of Wilshire and something. I think it's Normandy. There is that. It's painted on the side of a residential building. This is from a baby dedication that happened at the new church plant that Clement and I are working together on. Here are what appears to be a Muslim woman and a man with their child just in Koreatown waiting for the bus. I was walking home and saw this, I guess it's a goose with her baby geese behind her, going through the parking lot here at CST, and I stopped and wouldn't get close to them, but I zoomed in and tried to get a photo of them because I thought they're adorable. So that's that. This is also from the Women's March. A lot of people didn't get this close to the Women's March. They didn't arrive early enough. By the time most people arrived for the Women's March, Pershing Square was just jammed with people, so you couldn't see this stuff. I got there at 6:30 in the morning. The march didn't start until 11 or whenever, so that I could take some of these photos. But this is where people were writing who they marched for. And this quote says that it is not a protest against the subordination of one gender by the other. It is the story of the power of woman to create and destroy, and to have the proper judgment to choose life over death. And I thought that was fitting for that protest. So this is Maggie and Nazia and myself at the protest. And so this is a quote about the different forms that the goddess takes. This is a photo I took on my hike. I hike up the mountain sometimes, quite often actually. And I took this photo with my phone, hiking up the mountain where you're looking over. It's really hard to see on the screen, but this is the valley. So this is, back towards San Bernardino County.
Baldy, or which mountain?
Yeah, I don't really remember. I don't know what they call it. That far down. It's the it's the backside of the Claremont Loop. So yeah, it would be Baldy, but I don't know what that. It's the mountain range. It's the mountain over. I don't know what you call it. This is a resist sign that I happen to have gotten off the train I was riding the Gold Line. This is right outside of Southwest Museum Station. I happened to get off the train to answer a phone call, and I saw this sign and took a photo of it. It is there permanently. It has been there a while, and it was obviously put up temporarily, but it has stayed. It has remained. It has not been. It's been there a long time, and it hasn't been vandalized, which is pretty impressive. I think it speaks to the movement a little bit. And then in the end, the Gita, this is a sign we saw at the Women's March, and I took a photo of it because I thought it was awesome. Truth is powerful, and it prevails. And so this is a quote where Yudhishthira goes to wager his wife. And he wagers his wife, and he loses her in this battle, in this dice game. And ultimately, she says to him, "But did you lose yourself before you lost me?" And obviously the answer is yes. He wagered himself, and then he wagered his wife, and she said, "Well, I wasn't yours to lose then." Right? So there's something about there's power in truth, and that truth will always prevail. So that was an interesting way to end. So this has been my project, The Everyday Goddess in Los Angeles, California. So all of these photos were taken in and around Los Angeles.